Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, comrades and friends, today we have a clip of Donald Trump admitting, just outright admitting at this point, that he wants housing prices to rise and not fall. So that way, everybody else who he calls lazy can be fucked over, and because they got to work harder, obviously, if they can't afford a home. And so we're going to watch this clip here, just be depressed while we watch it, get some tissues, and then we're going to react to it real quick and just absolutely just destroy this argument because, I mean, it's literally brain dead. And it's evil, too. It's evil, considering this comes from a real estate mogul who just so happens to be president.
Existing housing, people that own their homes, we're going to keep them wealthy. We're going to keep those prices up. We're not going to destroy the value of their homes so that somebody that didn't work very hard can buy a home. We're going to make it easier to buy. We're going to get interest rates down. But I want to protect the people that for the first time in their lives feel good about themselves. They feel like that they're wealthy people. And I want them to understand it. There's so much talk about, we're going to drive housing prices down. I don't want to drive housing prices down. I want to drive housing prices up for people that own their homes. And they can be assured that's what's going to happen.
So how fucked up is that, guys? I mean, this guy, he's literally saying he wants to drive the housing prices up. Right, and he calls everybody else lazy. They didn't work as hard, right? That's why they can't afford homes. They're like, oh, okay, like, yeah, we didn't work as hard. I saw a clip. I saw an article the other day where it was basically saying that like Gen Z doesn't think that $30 an hour is enough, and you tell that to a boomer, and they're like, $30 an hour, like that's amazing. That's an amazing wage. And it's like, bro, like first of all, dude, like you realize what that is? If you work 50 weeks out of the year. Right, because thank God you can get 2 weeks vacation in this country. If you work 50 weeks out of the year, $30 an hour, 40 hours a week, you're making $60K a year. And $60K a year, that ain't like it's an okay living. You know what I'm saying? It's above the median, but it still ain't really shit. And when housing prices are literally over $500,000 on average, right? So really that ain't shit. What you got to make? You got to pay for a house 8 times your annual salary. Are you kidding me? That is crazy. That is crazy, and it's clearly a problem. But when you have a multi-billionaire real estate mogul who runs the country, of course he doesn't want to bring down the housing prices. And why the hell would he? Why would he? And you should have known that before you voted for this guy. Evil son of a bitch, man. Evil son of a bitch. And so we have a nice little graph I can put up on screen. And I just want to show you what the median household income was in comparison to the median housing price from 1985 all the way to the year 2023. And just to show you how bad things have gone. So in 1985, a house would cost you, about 3.6 times your income, right, your household income. And now it's about 5.3 times your household income. And by the way, too, this graph actually ends in 2023. So the number's actually gotten worse since this was published, right? So in 3 years, it actually managed to somehow get worse. If I had to guess, it's probably closer to 6 times, your income. I mean, the average housing price is what, over $500,000 now? $500,000? $500,000? Let that sink in. And this guy's saying he wants to raise the price of housing? In what world is this a president who's actually looking out for your best interest? This is not a president looking out for your best interest. I mean, what more do I have to say, right? And if you can't reason that yourself, then there's no reasoning with you, right? You'll never come to our side. And I'm not even saying that you have to necessarily be a liberal per se, but following this guy, this just makes you a cultist. That's what you are, right? So if you can say, look, I think housing prices should be higher than $500,000, right? It's like, well, good for you then, bro. Good for you. But, I just think back to this poor Gen Z here, right? I mean, we're talking people who are making literally $30 an hour and then $60K a year. It's like, dude, that's bad. And for the first time in history, my generation has also gotten lucky enough to where now going to college or university actually actively harms you, right? So you have the same unemployment rate as you would if you just had a high school diploma. And I'm not saying the high school diploma shouldn't be valued more. I think they should be way harder to get. They should probably be valued maybe a little bit more than they are, just by the sheer fact that we should limit them, people who get them. But college, university, shit don't matter. Don't matter. It's irrelevant, right? If you're a Gen Z male, it's irrelevant. The only people college actually helps are Gen Z females, and it's only once they get a bachelor's degree. Anything else above that actively harms them. right? So you could be a doctorate, as in comparison to a random person who graduated high school, and again, these random people, and higher unemployment rate if you have a doctorate. Like what? Whoa! Same with a master's, same with a bachelor's, same with the associate's degree. Like, excuse me? Like, at what point did things go south? It used to be back in the day. If you just a random person, I think it was JFK. You can go see this dude's like college admissions letter, right? And it's the most like bullshit thing. It's like, my father was a Harvard man, so I want to be a Harvard man. And it's like one paragraph long. Bro gets right into Harvard, no problem, right? You get the degree, and it just opens up all these doors for you immediately, and life's just good, right? You rest on your laurels. These days, that ain't shit, bro. You're just checking a box. Nobody cares one bit. Nobody cares one bit, right? The only thing that matters is who you know, is where you go. And when I think about the job market today, that's not even always the case, because everybody, it's so bloody competitive now, and there are no jobs, that the unemployment rates are just diabolically, it's astronomical, right? And with my generation, it's even worse. Right? These are people who've accrued all that debt. They were lied to. They were told going to college is actually going to save you from a life of misery. And what did it do? It causes a life of misery. Oh, and by the way, those loans that you got, they're non-bankruptable. So have fun paying those back. And, and by the way, too, sometimes we might not even give you some federal loans anymore, because we don't actually consider you a professional program, right? You're not an actual professional career path, right? Like teachers, for example, or nurses. Like, excuse me? So now, I get it. I understand now. So now we can go to the private side, which is clearly does things more efficiently, right? And they can go charge you 50% interest or whatever the hell they're charging, right? It's like, bro, this is bad. This is bad. I can't see a single reason why anybody would ever support this guy ever. I think you have to be if you were a billionaire and you were corrupt, maybe. But if you're just an average person, you got to be smoking crack or something. There ain't no way you can look at this and say that this guy makes sense. The shit that he's pulling off right here. This is mind-blowing. This is evil. This is horrible. And like, to say that everybody's lazy, it's like, you're so far out of touch. Oh my God. Like, imagine this, right? The average housing price is $500,000, right? So all those people who couldn't save 20%, $100,000 in motherfucking in cash, who couldn't save $100,000 in cash for a down payment, those people are all lazy, right? Those people are all lazy. Let's say they're doing pretty well. Let's say they got that $60K a year, right? Which puts them, well above average for median income there as an individual. Like, if they're like, do we not see something wrong with that? Like, you think that they should have to save $100,000 in cash, right? Maybe they can just get a small loan of $1 million and it'll be a little bit easier. But I don't know. I beg to differ. So, with that said, ladies and gentlemen, hope you guys did enjoy the video here. Peak boomer activity. Bad. This guy's gonna go down in history as probably certainly the worst president in the 21st century until some other schmuck comes along in 50 years. But for now, this guy is, this guy makes Reagan look like a saint. And so, very, very bad. And 20th century, there's a good argument here. This guy's the worst president here in the last 50 years, I would say. Maybe even in the 20th century. I don't know. Just his policies are so bloody unpopular, especially given the current state of affairs with not just our economy, but also the technological advancements that we've seen over the last 50 years, to really make things different and just, a wave of inventions and innovations that have, carried us forward. We don't capitalize on, it feels like, on anything. You would think by now we'd at least have like a 4-day work week, and, people could like actually work 40 hours a week and like afford a house and like food and a car. It's like, what? No. And the idea, even suggesting that, the conservatives laugh you out of the room. They're like, well, the fuck you should. You did. Like, why would anybody in their right mind, be able to afford a house, a car, a couple small luxuries, and food, if they're working 40 hours a week? Why would that be the case? That's crazy, right? That's crazy. And then they'll gaslight you and say, like, you're a fucking lunatic if you believe that. It's like, well, guys, like, maybe that's a fucking problem. Maybe that should be changed. Because I don't know how you can hear that and think that it's good. And then you know what they'll say, like, oh, well, sometimes you'll work 40 hours, but those are jobs for kids. It's like, well, you certainly don't act like that, right? If you're like a fast food worker, for example, right? Because they're notorious for making very little money, or same with retail or whatever. It's like guys, like, they're like the ones running society here. Like, without them, like, dude, society would freaking collapse, yo. Like, imagine like we had every day, like McDonald's was closed from like, from like, let's say like 7 a.m. to like, 4 o'clock. when kids are in school. It's like, yo, the world would be, you would just, I mean, at a standstill. It's stupid to say that, these are like jobs for kids. Like, it's the dumbest thing in the world. Anybody works a job. You work the job, you should get paid enough to have a living wage. I don't know what's so difficult about that, but for some reason you mentioned this conservatives, they leave their panties in a bunch, and it makes I don't know. It makes my blood itch. It makes my blood itch when I hear these people talk, because I think they're evil, and I don't think they're evil. I know they're evil, and so I guess the the future is in store for us is going to be bad. So with that said, hopefully you guys did enjoy the video today, and we'll talk to you later. Peace.